We all know that when buying a new vehicle, putting money down is very beneficial. It can lessen your payment, it builds equity in the vehicle right at the very beginning, and it also lessens the amount of interest dollars that you're going to be paying. But we also know that saving that money can be a challenge. Oftentimes, when you start making progress, life happens. Unexpected emergencies come along and it can drain, if not completely wipe out your savings. And this is especially true if you have children. From the moment they're born, you are constantly doling out money for these little rugrats. Diapers, formula, daycare, doctor visits, clothing, school supplies, sports, fundraisers. It just never ends. And if that's not enough for a suffering parent, you sign them up for trumpet lessons. Did you really think your kid would be like the next Louis Armstrong? That she'd be listening to the smooth, relaxing sounds of jazz coming from their bedroom? Well, no, that's not what you're going to get at all. I'll tell you what it's going to sound like. It's going to sound like a goose that's being tortured and dying a horrific death. That's the sounds you're going to be listening to every single day. Now, there's a reason why kids are called dependents, because they're dependent on your wallet. But once a year, these little parasitic cherubs are worth their weight in gold. And I am talking about the Earned Income Tax Credit that suffering parents like yourself get, compliments of the IRS. You can get a lump sum of money all at once from the federal government. And depending on how often you've engaged in unbridled, drunken, and reckless abandon, that amount can be significant. This is the perfect time to have that lump sum of money for a down payment on a new vehicle. And using your tax refund to get a new vehicle is much better than buying a big screen TV, and I can tell you why. Because those little monsters will be watching their shows on your TV while playing that godforsaken trumpet during commercial break. Ain't nobody got time for that. They won't be driving your new vehicle, and they won't be driving you insane, for the most part. So, if Uncle Sam just happens to be your sugar daddy, this is the episode for you. So hop on in, take a few hits off the information we pass around, because everybody knows the burnouts always have the good stuff. Time to mash the gas and let's smoke it.
Okay.
All
right. So welcome to the WK Burnout Studio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Dustin.
Alan behind the scenes. We all know that's for good reason.
Oh, yeah.
So today, let's talk about tax time.
Tax time.
So, Dustin.
Yes.
You are new to the car buying industry. Okay. You haven't established
the picture right now.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
You haven't established credit yet.
I'm a customer. Got it.
Yes.
Haven't bought a car before.
Cheap
cars. I bought cheap stuff like off Facebook or buy here, pay here place maybe.
Yeah, but so you used to roll in the dough. Is that what they call it? Used to be rolling in the dough.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of
just
money.
Just cash,
paying
for stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, now, sir, you need credit.
Yeah, I need some credit.
Yes.
So how do I do that?
Perfect time right now, tax time. A lot of people get, a pretty good amount back.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a great time to start establishing some credit.
Yeah.
And getting a vehicle that is reliable for you or your family and getting yourself in a good position.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of one of the things that I had thought of was, it's that time when people are they're going to get their tax money back and they're like, where do I even start?
Do I want a TV?
Yes.
Oh, that's some Jordans.
Well, yeah, it happens. It does. It happens. But if you're looking for a vehicle, one of the important things to start with is, come in and talk to us.
Yeah.
A reliable dealership that will help you get established and know that it's not just a down payment that you need, but you're going to have to also factor in your down payment, your sales tax, and insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's continue painting the picture of me.
Dustin.
So let's say, I guess, haven't bought a car. I need to build some credit. I've been buying cars every year with my tax return.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm ready to get something hopefully nicer, build some credit up.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like 8 kids. So I've got 10 grand in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I should do is not buy a TV and Jordans. Okay.
Right.
Take the money that you have, right?
Yes.
And keep it
Mm-hmm.
and go figure out how much you're going to need down to get financed on the vehicle that you want.
Right. Correct.
There's like a few things that you need to consider before you do that. So I have my 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go ahead and I don't want to go in and say I have 10 grand down to put on a car. No, you need to set aside some for your sales tax.
Right.
Set aside some for insurance, right? Because
Absolutely.
I've been rolling liability for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to get full coverage on something, they might require that I pay all 6 months or pay 6 months all at once.
Up front. Yeah.
Right. So have that money together, have a quote for that on the vehicle of interest that you have. Get all that stuff together before you say, this is how much I have down.
Right.
Then when you come to the point where you're determining how much you need to put down, also out of that amount that you have, wouldn't you want to figure how much you can afford to put down? Right. So there's going to be an amount that they say, this is the minimum. If you have more than the minimum and you put more down,
your payment's going to be lower.
it would make your payment lower. You could get more vehicle potentially too.
Right.
So keep that in mind. There'll be a required amount down for getting what you want. You may be able to change what you want if you add more down to that. So I guess the primary thing would be don't spend your money yet.
Right.
You don't have to count on all of it for doing the car thing, but you know that you're going to need more than just that, $3,000 or $2,000 down to get started. You want to have your sales tax and your insurance stuff set aside also, and then take the amount down required out of that amount, bulk amount that you have. So we're just trying to think of how to set people up right. If you're wanting to try this, if you're wanting to try and for the first time, right?
Right. Yeah.
But this is also something to consider if you've bought a lot of cars and you're just wanting to upgrade. You have more money down now. If you're wanting to upgrade, you could put that money down, keep your payment the same, and upgrade your vehicle potentially, right?
Absolutely.
So that when you have that money is a good time to consider doing anything like this. All that stuff becomes a stressor big time if you come in the middle of October and so you're getting ready for Christmas, you got no money. And you're like, well, I'm going to buy a car. You got sales tax, you got insurance, you've got stuff, even if you do, have a good credit situation and don't have to have money down. Think about this while you have it, that this might be a good time to, apply do the upgrade too and apply that money to something that can, accomplish your goal of upgrading your vehicle without upgrading your payment.
Well, because it's not just buying a vehicle. I mean, you're making an investment.
Yeah.
So even if you're just starting building credit or you've already built credit, either way, the more money you put down, the less your payment's going to be, the less interest you're going to have to pay over time, So it's just a great position to look at. And don't think that, like Dustin had mentioned, you're getting a big lump sum down. Well, all of that has to go to my car. Not necessarily. That's where we come in. Let us help
tell you what cars require what amount. And hey, this is something really important to keep in mind through this whole process. The banks, use vehicle values to determine how much they'll loan on said vehicle, right? They combine that with your credit score, your auto loan history, things like that to determine how much they will loan on that particular vehicle. Sometimes the percentages of the loan value are different based on your credit tier, your credit level, right? Or your credit experience. So that's a pretty big thing to keep in mind, like as you're putting your plan together and as you're talking to, us at the dealership, you may run into a few things. A lot of people come in and they say, well, I'm going to need probably the cheapest thing you have out here. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably a popular theory with people is, you come in and you want the $10,000 car and the dealer comes back and says, oh no, we can't do that, but we can get you this brand new car at this type of terms and stuff. And you're like, here they are trying to get me. No, that's the bank. And the reason banks think like that, and hear me out on this, having never worked at a bank or anything, this is my theory on how this works, is if they're making an investment in you and you have limited history or maybe some issues with your credit in the past, they're going to want to protect themselves as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And for a bank, there's no better protection than financing a car that while you have it, and in the most likely time that you would default on your loan and they would repossess it, it would still be under factory warranty.
Right.
That's the reason they will say, okay, you can buy this $10,000 car with $4,000 down for 17% interest. But if you want this new car, we'll do a lot better interest rate deal. You know, you still got to have money, but that's because they're protecting themselves just in case, you know, something goes wrong with the whole deal. So
absolutely,
that I feel like needs a lot of clarification in the world, because it's not like, I mean, we'd probably rather sell you the 05 Malibu than the brand new one for our sake. But realistically, and it does make sense. You don't want to give people, as a bank, as a lending institution, you don't want to give people an opportunity to, you know, if you had a buy here, pay here, or a cheap car, or throwaway car, something big goes wrong with it, you're just like, man, get rid of it.
Right.
I don't just leave it there. Leave it at the shop. I'll go buy another one. Right. When you have a loan on a car, you have to take care of it. It's your investment, but it's also the bank's, you know, property until you pay it off, really. So there's a lot of things to consider as to why can't I get this crew cab 4-wheel drive pickup that's 15 years old? It's $20,000, but they'll give me a $20,000 brand new car, but they won't do this pickup. Well, there's your answer. Whether it's a bank, credit union, national bank, stuff like, they all have to protect their credit union members or their, you know, bank, you know,
their
interest.
business.
Yeah, it's their business.
It's their business.
So that kind of explains, I think, why a lot of times they're like, well, I couldn't get the truck, but I could get a brand new you know, vehicle.
And a lot of time, how I explain to people that I talk to that are, you know, interested in, they're rebuilding their credit, or they're starting out, or they've had a few little hiccups, or they've just come out of bankruptcy, whatever the case may be. So you have to, one, have a down payment, because the bank wants to see a commitment from you.
It's true.
You know,
this isn't a rental car place, right? They want to know that I am actually, I want the thing that I'm getting. That's an important factor, right? And that I plan on fulfilling my part of the agreement, which is to pay said payment every month for a certain term of months.
Yes.
Right.
And the other thing is, you know, of course you think, oh, I'm just going to get the cheapest thing on the lot because I need the cheapest payment, and well, like you had mentioned, but a bank doesn't want you, they're trying to set you up to be a customer, you know, in the long run, not just
how they
today.
make their money. They don't make any money whenever you don't pay the loan back, or something goes wrong, or the payment's too high for you to make in the first place. I mean, they're not going to make anything. So they want you to literally love it, keep it, and keep paying.
Well, and if you have a vehicle that is out of warranty, higher miles, then something goes wrong with that vehicle, then you have to also not only worry about your monthly payment and your insurance, you have to worry about a repair bill. Okay. And it can range, you know, from all different costs. But if you have a newer vehicle that has a factory warranty, or your extended service plan, you know, that you're able to put in on it, then then the bank knows, okay, then they're going to be able to concentrate on their monthly payment and their insurance, and not have to have a headache of, you know, repairs on top of that.
Bingo.
So why wouldn't you go with the newer vehicle that is potentially more reliable, you know, and not have to worry about extra expenses?
They look at your whole budget, right? They look at, you know, what you make, what your outgoing expenses are. And they think, okay, if we add this auto loan to it, the what ifs. Right. In this hand, we've got an option where there would be a lot of what ifs that could potentially sink this dude, right? On the other hand, we've got something that's covered under warranty. There's no deductible. You literally just have to take it to the dealership and they'll fix it. You have insurance to cover, full coverage insurance to cover the body of the vehicle. If you get in an accident, you take it, you get it fixed. They're counting on you doing that stuff. And it not costing you, you know, how much it would with a used car. And they can't even guarantee, you know, damage to, you know, your 05 Silverado, that it's going to be fixed. I mean, they could get to the point of repo on that thing and it'd be a balled up mess. You know,
never know.
It's just less likely with a late model or a brand new car. So that's kind of why they go that direction.
And that's just what a commitment on your end. And then the newer vehicle is because of, you know, they want to see something you something that you will have a warranty on.
Yeah.
Now, what items do you need to bring in when you come in to, to just to talk with the dealer to find out what you qualify for, and how much money you would have to have down and what approximately your monthly payments would be. Besides your down payment, pay stub.
Yeah, pay stubs. I mean, it's if you're in the shopping process and you want to get accurate quotes,
I would say your last two.
Yeah, you want to get
pay
accurate
stubs.
quotes on the interest rate. I mean, dude,
Yep.
you can go to the city and you can drive around all day and you could probably find 4 places that will tell you, yep, we got you financed. See you later at a certain payment. And dude, they're going to call you 2 weeks later and be like, hey, we got everything done here. Need you to come back and sign some paperwork. And then it's like a lot higher than it was. I'm not saying every place like that, but there are places
There
like
are
that.
places like that.
And there are places where in maybe your particular situation, they are so ready to get all of your taxes. They'll even do your taxes at the dealership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. They've got those places. They'll do it there and they want it all.
They want it
The
all.
check is written directly to them.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, think that's not your only option.
Right.
That's not your only option.
Yep. And just because you go in one place to inquire does not mean you have to buy there.
No.
I mean, it just go prepared,
Yeah. And prepared would be honestly, I mean, get a call Christina and get a soft pull on your credit. Boom.
Yeah.
You have an instant idea of what you need to be looking for and what you need to do.
Yep.
And, the advice comes from there and then, we figure it out. But it's honestly, you're not alone out there and you're not the only person that gets this, tax refund money and is like, okay, I can make a difference in my life, my family's life. I can make a difference with this if I don't spend it all on a TV and Jordans and of 2 vacations.
Right. But where do I start?
That would be awesome and fun. But before you get any of that, and sometimes you can wipe out the idea of the car buying thing and replace it with other stuff to do with that money because it's too difficult to figure out.
Yep.
Just call and get some help and we'll point you in the right direction, get you an idea quickly on how much of that money you need to not use on the vacation.
Right.
And TVs are pretty cheap right now. You probably get a sweet TV just off the edge of it.
But the main things is, make sure you have your pay stub, proof of residence.
That'd be like a utility bill that has your name on it.
Yes.
The utility,
cell phone bill, anything a bank's, if your bank statement has your name and address on it,
and your address.
That's fine. Because also, your last 30 days, your last bank statement as well. Those 3 things, if you can gather those and call us 826-8320, we'll help you. We'll sit down and we'll look at insurance quotes, on the computer. Like, we will help you. It doesn't have to be a rushed decision.
We're not like, you got to go outside and call the insurance guy, get this together and come back. No, we'll help you print it out and stuff. Honestly, it's a daunting thing, really. It's the second biggest purchase that everybody, makes.
Eventually,
And here in the Midwest, it's like an essential thing to life. Yeah. We don't have a, public transit system that everybody uses. I mean, we've got stuff, but it's just not there for everybody to, effectively get to and from, work, different places like that. So we're a little more spread out here in the Midwest.
A little different. Yep.
So it is a big deal. You do have options. You probably have more options than you think. And you have a ton more options at tax time because you have the money. That means that you may be able to open up other options than this is it kind of thing.
Right.
So take advantage of that while you can.
Yep.
And see what, see what kind of good you can do for your situation.
Yep. And don't have the expectation, keep them real. So don't think, I'm going to a Denali, to start out with. That's probably not going to work, but let's talk about it. I mean,
we can whittle down and figure out where
learn to crawl before you walk.
Yeah. That's something it's hard to get across to people and it's hard to hear sometimes.
Absolutely.
Because everybody wants to jump out of the gate and be right there driving what mom and dad drive.
Right.
Mom and dad they're retired. They worked for 45 years so he could drive that Denali pickup and she could have a new Cadillac.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying they're not still making a house payment either.
Right.
There's just things to consider whenever you're getting started. And in your particular situation, it could be that you really need to budget your gas. You need to budget your payment,
Mhm.
and you need to have those, certain expenses that are predetermined, like repairs, maintenance, stuff like that. So, there's a lot to keep in mind.
Mhm.
And it's not just so that we can sell that one new Malibu or something. No, it's literally because the bank, us, your mom and dad, everybody agrees this is
Mhm.
probably the right thing to do. It's the most responsible thing.
Mhm.
It's the best bet.
The best
Right?
way to go. Yeah.
So, that's things don't just line up that way for no reason.
Yeah.
It really is a pretty good idea whenever you look at it, if that is the situation that you're in. So,
Absolutely. And if you're wondering, well, how much kind of should I be budgeting to put down? On average, the banks like to see 20%.
yeah, about 20. Mhm.
Yeah, 20% down. And then just kind of take a look, at a look from there. Go on our inventory, wkchevy.com. Take
Yeah.
a look,
If you're
go in
looking
there and scroll through.
$20,000 cars and you've never done this before, you might plan to use $4,000
Mhm.
of your money to get you started. That money's not just like paying the bank for the courtesy of doing the loan for you.
Right.
That's down payment on the vehicle price.
Right.
That's your investment, and that's your
Mhm.
stuff.
Yep.
So you're not just paying, that money down goes to the vehicle. And
Yeah.
that's something that it makes sense to us. We live it every day, but hey, this is something to consider that
Mhm.
you're not throwing that money away.
Right.
You owe less on your car because you
Mhm.
put that money down.
Yep.
That means that you're closer to being good in a trade cycle. When you go to refinance,
Mhm.
if you need to, the position will be better then, and
Mhm.
more likely to be able to get a better rate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good. That money is not thrown away, that down payment
Right.
money.
Yeah.
I know it hurts when it says it's required,
Mhm.
but all right, it's still going to your thing that you're driving, and you're
Right. It's not just a bank or dealer fee,
it's your money, and it's going into your vehicle. So it does help set up. You never see anybody happier than the person that legitimately put 20% down,
Mhm.
financed for 48 months.
Mhm.
And they come back in 2 years. They can do whatever they want. They've got it. They're ready to trade. They're
Yeah.
in a good position. They
Yeah.
owe far less on the car than somebody that did a 6 or 7 year note.
Mhm.
That's ideal. And
Right.
in the real world, and in a lot of cases, that's not something that we can, achieve. But boy, it'd be great if you could.
Oh,
if you had the
man.
money down, so you just, every car you finance, 48 months is all I need to do.
Yep.
You could do the good rates and everything on them, but it's just kind of one of the things that
It's
to
not
consider.
common now.
No, it isn't. But boy,
Yeah.
that'd be great to do.
That'd be a goal.
Yeah, that's my future goal. I just need 48 months.
Yeah, and here's my 20% down.
Here's my 20% down every time. It'd be great.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
So, anyways, just wanted to kind of clarify a little
Yeah.
bit, because a lot of people right now, like I said, are going to be getting tax money down, and they want to get a reliable vehicle for their family. They
Mhm.
just don't know where to start, or I don't want to say they're embarrassed. Or they've been kicked before, when they're down,
Yeah.
they've been kicked before, and they just don't want to go through that cycle again. Let us help.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the perfect time to get you on your feet, and we're the most non-pressure sales team around.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we really are.
We
Yeah.
definitely won't hurt your feelings. We'll do everything we can to help you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's what we're here for.
Absolutely. So just wanted to go over that. It went a little longer than what I was expecting, but
It's good information.
good
though.
points. Yes. But we appreciate, all of everyone who's followed us throughout our journey of the WK Burnouts. And if you found this informative, is that the right word?
That is good word.
Informative.
Mhm.
Then please share with a friend, family member, anyone who you never know. You never know when
they could find
they
it
may
helpful.
need that, they may need that information. But okay, well, we thank you again, and we will cruise on by and pick you up next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
This has been a WK Burnouts production.